See this right here? I wrote this up in 2021, April to be exact. And I know this because on the reverse side of this is a receipt where I went down to the local Circle K. Actually, it was a different gas station, but a gas station, and got some food. I remember this, and I wrote this down because I don't want to forget the list of tokens that at the time I had my eye on for one reason or another. To put in some context, especially if you're new to the channel, by the way, welcome. This is at a time when I was new-ish to cryptocurrency. Didn't fully have my head wrapped around it yet. I kind of had a sense. I had just revitalized the YouTube channel. I had just revitalized the podcast at cryptotalkradio.net. Just put my head around what I wanted. And I had rebranded. Everything was clean, but I still had my eye on certain projects. This list you see, and I know you recognize some of these names, don't you? People in the industry refer to these as so-called shit coins. Properly so. I thought this would be fun because some people may not know, having been in cryptocurrency as long as I have now and shifting my mindset away from crap, this was a good walk down memory lane. As I was cleaning out my stuff to get ready for the move, I stumbled across this and said, I want to talk about this with people watching the channel so they can understand why I do the fundamentals I do and why I look for those, but also so I can show who was able to stand the test of time and why, and what do I see now? It's almost like you're traveling in a time machine, right? So I thought it'd be fun to kind of go down the list. Some names you may not recognize. I initially had forgotten some of these, and then some I was like, yep. And then I forgot one. That very first one on the list. No, I'm not describing something that somebody is wanting. There was a crypto called Safe Space. It don't exist in a damn more. Completely dead is its site. But I found some legacy information. Safe Space, they released in May. So in April, they did a pre-sale, as I recall this. Did a pre-sale. They did a whole bunch of hype, a whole bunch of shill out there about their token, how it's going to work. They gave me a Twitter deal here. Now, here's the thing. If I run that Twitter, it's a suspended account, but notice, plus 30% today, amazing, to the moon, doop, doop, doop. That's all you see here, right? Amazing team and all this other stuff from Rocket Crypto, Safe Space Crypto. Safe Space Crypto has its stuff locked down and has nowhere near any followers. So Rocket Crypto was the key. The Rocket Crypto used to be somebody of some note. I don't remember who that was. Anybody listening to me here, please do share this on the comments. Let's talk about, do you know that username? Do you have some information about that person that you can share in the comments so we can all get a good chuckle? So that's what happened there on this business, right? Once we get this good ratio, Tesla's going to give away a car. Of course, Tesla's not going to give away jack. It's them allegedly buying the Tesla and giving it to somebody. Regardless, 10x into your assets. We're going to be on Binance. We're going to do all this other stuff. It's regulated. No, it was not. So just looking at this, right? This whole advertisement, none of this was going to ever come true. This was all a joke if you looked at this, but this is the kind of pitch they were putting out there. Okay, so then here's the graph of that time. So I was able to pull back the old data, pump and dump, and apparently died completely off August 30th. That's when we stopped tracking data on this business. Okay, well then I went to the scan and I noticed there's still traffic coming from Bitmart. Now, what does this probably mean? I can't say for sure, but what does this probably mean? Probably means it's still, people are still buying and selling the damn thing. So that's what it is. That's fine. And I know it's the same because this is the same site that I just showed you. I know it's the same because it's the same Twitter account. Telescam may still be running. I don't know. I don't go to Telescam. But 24,000 addresses holding this business even now. And there's still a bunch of transfers on it. So it's being bought and sold and traded. You know it ain't worth a damn thing. I found that intriguing. I got a good chuckle out of that one. And then for the holder breakout, of course, they burned 41% of it. You got PancakeSwap is the largest holder. So it reminds me of Keanu Inu in a way. Bitmart has a pretty substantial supply. And apparently there's some people doing exit liquidity to get out of the business. There's a lot of people holding quite a bit of the useless tokens for safe space. Very interesting. The next one on the list, of course, with this one, so this is Kishu. Now with Kishu, it's a little bit different because with Kishu, I was watching this one for a while. And what bothered me with Kishu at the time, I remember what happened. Everything was cool, and I believe they went V2, but then they talked about doing this Tenshi. And I'm like, what the F are you guys doing? Because your core token's all jacked up. Why are you doing this Tenshi business? And I got upset when I recalled whatever happened at that time. So it's still there. It's still got its site. It still has its community. It's not dead. It's still on track to be doing things. They're checking stuff off as they go. Everything's what it was, right? I went to CoinMarketCap, my favorite site, should be yours too, to just kind of get a pulse. Looked at the graph, zoomed all the way out, pump and dump, hard pump and dump for the graph. All in the comments, low market cap on CoinMarketCap, still pushing for DeFi skeletons, which has nothing to do with it. But then if I go here, again, still a very strong community. People remain bullish about it, and it has a lot of holders. So that's in its place. That's in its advantage, at least, as a strong community. We only have spotty users who say stuff like, quote, I always lost since I invested in this coin. It has been more than a year. Without burn, we won't get anywhere, which was my issue way back yonder. Apparently, they had no intention of doing a burn mechanic to drop the supply. The supply, just to put in perspective, is 100 quadrillion at the max, with a total still remaining of 96 quadrillion. Pretty much all of it's in circulation right now, which means its price isn't going to go very much higher than where it is. So the pump and dump that I saw here does not surprise me. It had a little bit of a run up back in October, and I don't know exactly what caused this run up. I can't recall exactly what was going on in October around Kishu. They probably released some utility or something, but notice it went right back down. So if you're in Kishu and you believe in Kishu, I'm not trashing Kishu. They actually went through a CERTIC audit. They did everything they could to get the token to a point. I think they made bad decisions, to be honest with you, because the supply was egregiously high. And I remember they refused to do a burn for some reason. And then Tenshi came out and they said Tenshi's going to do something to support Kishu, and none of that came to pass. So if you support it, it's cool. I'm just calling out that I lost interest primarily because they refused to do what I felt was necessary to get it back on track. The next one, which this one, it's not that I'm against it, and I don't want to come across like I'm against it because I do see that they're at least trying. It's not that. It feels like one tweet caused this next one to go, that being Baby Doge, because the whole thing around this one, if you didn't know the story, there was a time Elon put out a tweet and they actually marketed this, and it basically said, Baby Doge, and then all of a sudden, Baby Doge coin becomes a thing. So here's that tweet, unless Elon, right here, Baby Doge, So then all of a sudden, we love you, Elon, July, and then everything's to the moon, everyone's going crazy. Because whenever Elon does something, look at this crap, 58,000 retweets of him saying nothing but garbage about this dude. That's what bothered me about it. It's not the token. It was like, dude, it's a clean token. It's pretty strong. You can mine it. They seem to communicate very well. They seem to put a lot of effort into what they're doing. They're listed on a lot of exchanges, and they have a lot of ambition in what they're doing. So it's not that I'm against the token, and I want to be clear about that. It just feels like they're banking on nothing more than a tweet, fundamentally. And so now, is that all they have? I don't know. I went to CoinMarketCap. Fully diluted market cap of $1 billion for the fully. 300,000 market cap is nothing to shake your head at. That's a lot. However, max supply, 420 quadrillion, with a total supply still remaining 231 quadrillion and circulating of half that. They got a long way to go for any sort of profit. And if you look at the graph, significant pump and dump, because this right here, July 4th, I'm pretty sure correlates just shortly after. So 4th of July, Independence Day, days after he does that Baby Doge, this is what it does, crash. And then we had a little bit of pump after this. And I'm pretty sure this came when they started doing some more mechanic stuff, and then it went down again, been climbing, but it's not been able to get anywhere near its true all-time high, which was a lot. So the community has been strong, remains strong, bullish, pretty much almost to a T. Every now and then you got this one. And I wanted to ask the community, if you're in Baby Doge, about this, quote, AD, quote, there are rumors that they're going to place more supply of coins in circulation and the price is going to drop a lot. There's another one who I'll find here momentarily. Very strong bullish sentiment. I want to find that other one because he gave a little bit more context. Not that one. He's garbage. Where's the other guy or lady? Right here. User Pump Whale says, quote, this clown token going nowhere. Mark my words, they'll rug pull you soon and they will put all the money in an offshore bank and disappear from the map and Google map honky the clowns. I don't know what that means. Clown tokens going nowhere. It's going to blast of the blue pill community like the nuke something in Call of Duty. Okay, whatever. User Shib Sultan says, quote, big scam orchestrated here by Paris78, the biggest clown on CoinMarketCap. He has a lot of followers. User El Boda says, quote, bull run in Q3 2023, not now. Now, very much down, then pump. Sell now and then buy again when price down to take profits. Please, my friends, sell it now. Take your profit. 8 zeros, $10 coming. I'm checking Carters. Same user, make your money now, USDT. Now problem comes, sell now and take profits. User Sip Sultan, as fast as you sell, as fast you get out of this trap. Ship Sultan, bomb ass bull, I guess, is another top clown here. Sell immediately for it will dump 30%. Sultan again, new big dump, staking crackdown. Clowns will go to the moon, of course not. So, kind of the messaging, there's two things. Number one is allegedly there's going to be more tokens put into it. Now, I talked about this on another episode because total supply is only 230 quadrillion, but max supply is 420 quadrillion, means that they have a delta of about 170, 180-ish that are not out there that they could put out in the wild to get the total supply up. I don't know why they would do that, but they could because it looks like they haven't issued all the tokens yet. And they already have a lot in circulation. So I don't know why they would do that if that's true. I don't know anything about the devs either, so I can't speak on that. I will tell you, if they're planning to put more tokens in there, I struggle with why they think that's a smart-ass idea. That's just my opinion. This next one I completely freaking forgot about. Daddy Doge. Daddy Doge, I had totally forgotten about it. Completely forgot about it. You know, the site's decent of what it is. Decent tokenomics and everything else. All the phasing that they were going to be doing. I didn't have any concerns other than they allegedly built a swap on Moon Radar. It's dead. So I assumed that the token was dead. However, when I went to CoinMarketCap and I zoomed out, pump and dump, and it's down. However, it does have a significant amount of volume. You got 447,000 in volume going through, largely coming from centralized exchanges still. Fully diluted market cap of almost 3 million. That's all we report. So as far as CoinMarketCap's concerned, there's not enough data to report on this dude, but the centralized exchanges are still pumping some traffic. Indox, to be specific. There's more traffic on the centralized exchange than there is on PancakeSwap. I don't know why that would be, other than people just trying to use exit liquidity. So then comments, New Luffy says, quote, failed project, they send this failed daddy to moon and still can't pump. What a shame, failed coin, daddy Doge to the floor. User Bluntopolis 420 says, quote, if you put money in this failed project, you're very special. So they consider it a failed project. I can't say for sure because the site is still active, but again, the swap is down. PancakeSwap's still up, but I'm talking to Moon Radar. It's down. Site's still functional for what it is. I don't go to Telescam, of course. And then if I try to hit the Twitter account account's still active. However, it's not really tweeted for a couple months now. So I don't know. I can't say for a fact here. So that's Daddy Doge. I had completely forgot about that one. Didn't even freaking know. Then Mini Doge, which I'd love to show you site on, but it's dead. Completely dead. I checked CoinMarketCap. pump and dump. User AGTS something or other says, quote, stay away from these devs. They're all scammers creating tokens. Google them. They have more projects like this. Okay. User 1PLQ something or other says, quote, big scam devs. They have other projects as well. Please put your money in other good projects that exist and never in any coin token developed by this crap team. They're all trash. Nothing coming from these types of devs is good. They need to pay back for the rip. I'm assuming that's rip off. User Hamzamir says, quote, why the coin is not tradable in BKEX wallet while they already purchased it there. Same again, big scam detected. User The Birdman says, quote, Dev Team 6 scammers, delays, promises broken, too many projects they can't handle. Bill and the team are rich. I don't know anything about the team. User Madman says, quote, stay away of all Dev Team 6 projects. They're a pump and dump scheme. Check all the tokens chart. They look the same besides the team never delivering anything. The AMAs are 100% empty promises. If you invest, you're filling Bill Spada's pocket. I got a good chuckle out of that one. Don't know who Bill Spada is, but I'll look up DevT6 and see what the deal is. As far as centralized exchange, the only one they're on is xt.com, and it has no traffic. So I consider this completely dead in my personal opinion. That's my opinion anyway. Wow, and then look at that. Local Bitcoin shut down. Doesn't surprise me because they stopped taking cash, but that's a side bet. Let's go back down our list. We're almost done here. Oh, yeah. Good old Akita, a.k.a. Akita Inu, now has been revived. I know that they've completely rewrote the site, ripped off Firefox's logo, and extended over to the Avalanche chain, if I recall correctly. And the only reason I had my eye on this one was because at the time it looked like it was going to have some strong upward potential. They've done some changes since. I can tell from the development of the site, they at least care about it. They have a lot of social media presence going on. I checked CoinMarketCap, pump and dump as usual, but a very strong community still. Pretty good sized market cap, basically 100 trillion in supply, which isn't crazy high, but it is somewhat high. And 1 million in centralized volume is pretty darn good. And a pretty strong community. There's a couple of notes. User MJBRNS0 says, quote, 5 wallets own 73% of the supply and they're ready to dump it the minute it pumps a little. Don't buy it. Doesn't surprise me. User Crypto Investor says, quote, thank you guys. I almost bought after reading your messages. It's not a good idea. We should always denounce this kind of project to avoid new victims. User Tahoe NFT says, quote, devs are buying and selling the same amount just to sell huge buys on Telescam. User Xiaomin says, quote, this junk token has dropped by 370% in the past year. Don't fantasize about this junk. 100 years is also rubbish. I don't know what that means. User Xiaomin again, this garbage project didn't go to the center until 2027. We're not there yet. I didn't know about the garbage project made in these 4 years, so I fooled into investing in such garbage tokens. People sell such rubbish. Xiaomin again, this junk token has dropped below 10 months in a row and increased by 2 zeros. Now tell 2027 to decentralize. Maybe this junk token won't be invested now. It's a good choice to leave it because junk tokens like this are already a failure. Again, carry and sell. This junk token will be decentralized in 2027. It'll take 5 years to invest in such tokens, which will waste time. Sell it. I'm not going to continue with that last one because it's more of the same. The point is, there's a belief it's not worth the investment despite having a pretty strong volume. The theory is that it may be the devs basically wash trading to generate false volume to trick people into buying the token. I can't say whether that's true or not. Just thought it was very interesting. This one threw me because I certainly didn't remember the name, but its name actually is truly Koshi. And what they said was it's a merge of Corgi and Shiba Inu in terms of at the time when SHIB was pumping hot and heavy. This Corgi came out and they said, let's bring it together and create this other token. Their site is crap, absolute garbage. As I looked at it, I looked at CoinMarketCap, and then of course, centralized volume none, descend volume $400 with no numbers reported hardly anywhere, pump and dump. I consider it a dead project. However, CoinMarketCap disagrees with me because apparently there's a bullish sentiment still, even now. So I'm not in the community. Can't say where that bullish sentiment's coming from, but I would advise those people to rethink their prioritization because the volume is going to all-time lows. At least that's my opinion on that. HODL token, of course, we did the interview with the CEO on HODL token. I had no concerns whatsoever on HODL token at the time. I did raise a couple of recommendations only that they said they would take to heart. I don't know if they did any of those things, but HODL token, the biggest thing I saw on that one simply was around trust. I think trust was burned due to past bad decisions prior to the current leadership, triggered devs, triggered admins, and just I think it left a bad taste in people's mouths. Volume is low. There's still some volume on the descent side, but volume is reasonably low. It's a rewards-based token, so there's that. Pump and dump on the pattern of the chart. Some of what happened then when he came in was prior to. So then you have all this, hype and everything around it when it started. When they started making those decisions, those bad decisions before his arrival, I believe people just got disenchanted around it. It still has a generally strong bullish community to it, as you can see. Every now and then you'll hear people that are saying, hey, you're going to lose your money, it's a scam. I'm 99% confident it's not a scam. What I saw, and the community bullish sentiment confirms for me this, what I saw is that at the time HODL launched, it was a catastrophic nightmare. I checked. They did the HODL one, they did an airdrop of the second one, then they did an interim airdrop, and then they did the current one. That was all chaos. They changed the leadership around. But the point is, during all this chaos of the airdrops, people in the community were trying to get answers. This was Reddit at the time. And they had triggered admins and set off admins, and it's hard for them to get answers. And I believe that what hurts HODL is simply the sentiment has been damaged. But they worked really hard to rebuild what they had and create something that was going to get them back to a level of strength. So my point is, I can almost guarantee from my angle as assessed, I can almost guarantee you there's no scam here. You do have legacy baggage from all that junk that happened before that they've worked to try to resolve with all the stuff that they've been developing to try to get ahead of it. So HODL remains on the target to consider, at least, because I did coverage on it and I had to consider. And then the last one, and I'm ashamed that I was at least looking at it. I did look at it, but I'm ashamed. And you're like, why? Because it's just such a crap project. That's, of course, SafeMoon. And SafeMoon arguably has not recovered since what happened with CoffeeZilla and his coverage of it. I can't confirm what was covered. I can tell you that SafeMoon felt like, I know some people got rich off this crap, but I also know a lot of people, it's like hopium, where there was just no way they were going to get any sort of wealth. And they talked about doing all sorts of stuff that never is going to come past, windmills and all this crap that never came to pass. If you try to link from the site, though, it actually takes you to the wrong CoinMarketCap page. So when I went here first, I'm like, okay, so the old SafeMoon still has a significant market cap, which means you still have people stuck with the old SafeMoon tokens. There's no volume, and the reason for this is because they have 100% sell tax on the thing. So you're basically trapped. Well, they have a migration utility here, apparently, that you can still migrate your tokens across to the new SafeMoon. As far as I can tell, it looks like it's a manual process now if you miss the prior. So the issue is, if you're still stuck with the initial one, the only way you would know it is that it appears in your wallet as SafeMoon. However, there's a V2, which is the current one, and it appears in your wallet as SFM. So if you had SafeMoon at a point and it shows a SafeMoon, you're stuck on V1 and you really should migrate out because you can't sell it. If you have the SFM, then, okay, I see more reasonable numbers here. And the volume of centralized exchanges is what I would expect it to be, and they only have 1 trillion in supply, which is very low. Graph, of course, is pump and dump. And then I would argue it's about a 50-50 on community sentiment, rightfully so. User Aries Gray says, quote, when are you guys going to give this token up? The founders are just stringing us along with social media posts with empty promises. I'll always be thankful for SafeMoon getting me into crypto, as a community in the beginning was fantastic. But at the end of the day, the token is dead. It has no utility. It does nothing special. We're almost 2 years in and no blockchain. What's up with Gambia? I don't know what that is. Windmills and a slew of other garbage hype. User Hodelmir Putin says, quote, if you think your life is sad, just remember, someone actually made an account like this, SafeMoon Positivity. Okay. All right. User Rage Against Dev says, quote, what the hell is SafeMoon even doing anymore? I dislike every stupid video they release. John Caffany, I don't think that's his last name, old thieving ass, doing these stupid ass captain logs, blockchain, turbines, Gambia, exchange, plus more have been delivered. I mean, God, man, after Fudhound said what y'all said in the club, y'all deserve the biggest jail sentence of all time. 1,000 life sentences. Haven't invested so much as a nickel in this stupid project for a year, thank God. And Fudhound needs to go to jail too, get punched in his dumb face. Cafferty is by far the worst human being to walk the earth. Y'all are all due Quans and SBFs. Cowards and liars. How has nobody showed up at y'all's house yet? I think somebody did show up at one of theirs. But regardless, User Financial says, quote, the most crooked shit coin ever produced. There's at least a dozen people should be in jail for their involvement with this ongoing scam. I love it. User Holdemir Putin again. Defending this project after knowingly getting scammed is still crazy to me. User Frozen Milk says, quote, as it was brought to my attention, Safe Space Baby felt a bit ruffled by my post, but him being the sad, egotistical, scamming weasel that he is, doesn't even get the reason why he's hated. No, I didn't write my second about you because you blocked me, and then there's a rant. Okay. And Frozen Milk again. Vladimir Putin, quote, this chart looks like your classic rug in slow motion. Just zoom out and you'll see it. So it's obvious and clear that Safe Moon is not believed in by its community at large. It's been to 50-50. There's still some people that are just high diehards, and I celebrate them for being diehards. So I thought this was a very good walk down memory lane of all the so-called shit coins out there that I had my eye on. When I was reasonably newish to, actually trading cryptocurrency, I was watching it, but I wasn't trading until just after this. And I had my eye on it when I started the podcast, and I was really looking a little bit deeper and closer. These came up on radar back then. And there's a reason I have no money in any of these projects at all. I've never had any. I had some in HODL for sure. Don't have any now. I had some in Safe Moon, but that was sold for profits. I had a little bit in Baby Doge, but that was mined, and then I sold it. I toyed with Kishu and sold it ages ago. The rest of them I never bought in. I just had my eye on them from a distance, and I didn't really lose any money on any of these, actually, except HODL. HODL I lost because of the migration. But it wasn't a lot. It was like $10. So I was tiptoeing in it. So I didn't ever YOLO in any of this. Like a lot of people YOLO'd in Safe Moon. I can't understand it. But hopefully that's been fun. And a message. The message to this is try to avoid the crap, because generally speaking, they're not, you can hold them for years and it's not going to really make a difference. And if you're one that wants to hold the line for 10 years, I celebrate you. I respect you. I'm just sharing that this is a great episode for me, because all I'm doing is sharing. I was there. I was in the shoes, especially if you're new to this. I was in the shoes where there was something just launched, seems to have a little hype. I'm going to take a look at it. I was in that position. In my case, I never tossed money that I wasn't comfortable losing. It's like, I'm okay losing this 10. I'm okay losing $20. I'm okay losing $5. See what happens, and then just kind of do it. I would never toss more than I was cool losing. And that's my message to you of all of it, is not to avoid them completely, but be careful when you do it, and make sure it's only money you can throw away and afford to lose, because most of these are not going to last the test of time. And if they do, the profit's really not going to be there, certainly not in the short term. By the time, if you think about, let's say it does get you something in 10 years, you could probably make more money in the short term doing bonds than you could doing something like this, if that's all you care about on long plays. Consider whether this is worth it. Consider also whether you're just a form of exit liquidity for some people sitting on major bags.